I got my ribs here. And now we're going to add garlic, 2 cloves of garlic. And then when that starts boiling, we're going to add the onion. Okay, now that it's boiling, we're going to add our onion. Okay. And then we're going to add a little bit of salt. And then I'm using the sea salt kind. Okay, let that boil a little bit more. Okay, so for this guiso, we are going to use 3 jalapenos, 2 ajos, and some cherry tomatoes. Okay, along with onion. So we're gonna allow this to cook. And I didn't put nothing in the pan. It's like we're grilling it on a pan. So once each jalapeno and tomato is really cooked, then and tender, it'll be ready to blend. Okay, so for the next step, we're gonna put extra virgin olive oil in the pan, and I like to add an onion, just so it to have like that little extra taste to it. Okay, after that, I'm going to add the ribs. Okay. Okay, I'm not doing too much of it. Add a little bit of pepper and a little bit of salt, just to give a little bit of flavor. And then once it's cooked on one side, I'm gonna go ahead and turn it for the other side for the meat to get cooked. Okay, so once your cherry tomatoes start looking like this, you're gonna go ahead and take them out. Also the garlic, once it starts looking like this, you can go ahead and take those out. I'm gonna leave the jalapenos a little bit more, just for them to go ahead and cook all the way through. Okay, now our seasoning that we're gonna add cumin, cloves, whole cloves, and crushed ground pepper. We're gonna add that to our blender. Okay, and then we're gonna blend all of this together, and then add some sea salt in it too. And then we're gonna blend all ingredients together. You see, I have the onion, I have the jalapeno, the garlic, and the the cherry tomatoes at the bottom. Okay, now that it's brown, I'm gonna go ahead and add our blended ingredients. Okay, and then our onion that we added, I'm gonna go ahead and take that out because it's already cooked. Okay, and then after that, we are going to add our special ingredient to give it flavor. And for that, I am going to use the chicken flavor. I'm gonna add that in there. Okay, we're gonna mix that in, and you can actually see how well it was cooked, the meat. Okay, so after that, I'm going to add also, this gives it that extra flavor, and it's actually the garlic powder. So I'm gonna put a little bit of garlic powder. Okay, mix that in. That's gonna give it a touch of that extra flavor that we're looking for. Okay, and after that, just cover it up with the lid and let it boil. Okay, now we're gonna make our rice. So for our rice, we're gonna make congri rice, which is basically white rice with black beans. We're gonna put in our pan, I know you can't see it, but we're gonna put extra virgin olive oil, and then we're going to add our onion, diced onion. Sorry, trying to get this. Okay, we're gonna move that around, make sure good of that flavor. Looks like a big one went in there. Okay, so after that is cooked, you don't want to leave it too brown, you know, overcook it, because then it's going to leave a different taste to it. Okay, it's starting to cook then. So now we're going to add our rice. And I use here 1 cup of rice. So it's very important that you measure your rice. For every cup of rice, you're going to use that amount of beans. So if this is 1 cup of rice, so I'm going to use 1 can of black beans for this. If you're using 2 or 3 cups of rice, then you would also use 2 or 3 cups of black beans. Just want to cook this. You know, move it around. Don't let it get too brown, because remember we don't want to burn the rice either. Okay, now that we have our rice, you know, cooked all the way, we're gonna go ahead and add 1 cup of water, and then we're gonna add our whole can of beans. And it could be any kind of black beans. I'm in particular using Bush Best reduced sodium black beans. Okay, so we're gonna mix this up. You don't want to add too much water. So remember, we added 1 cup of water. Now, to give it that extra flavor, we're gonna go ahead and add a little bit of rice, like a teaspoon of rice. Salt. Again, we're using our sea salt. And you can go ahead and mix it. Okay, and after that, we're gonna, let's see if you can see it here. We're gonna actually put the heat more up. Mommy. And then once it starts boiling, we're gonna cover our rice, and then lower the temperature, turn it down, and let it slow cook as you would normally cook the rice. Okay, now that it's boiling, we're gonna go ahead and cover it up. And then we're gonna turn it down. Okay, that way it can slow cook. Turn it down. And then just let it cook. Okay, we're gonna check up on our guiso, see how it's doing. Okay, looking good. So once you feel the meat tender, you can go ahead and, turn it down. It's still kind of hard, so we wanted to let it boil some more. So you want to keep in mind the juice. Make sure you have it cook it on medium or low heat. That way all the juice won't get consumed and it'll be tender enough, the meat. So we're gonna go ahead and cover it back up. It still needs a little bit more to cook, and we have our heat on medium low. So we're gonna check up on our guiso, and it looks like this is pretty much done. It's very tender, the meat here. You see how concentrated the juice got? It doesn't look watery. That's how you want it to get. Very thick salsa. A very thick salsa. You don't want it to be too watery. So I am going to put that on back a bit. And now let's check up on our rice. Okay, very good. So for our rice, I'm going to mix the beans all around. That way it could cook thoroughly. So that needs just a little bit, like 5 more minutes, and our rice is done. Now I'm going to go ahead and make the tortillas, so I'll see you back when we get the tortillas done. Okay, so we're gonna ask our best taster to taste our food and see how it is.
I can't get the rice. Oh my god.
How is it?
Oh, good. Like and subscribe for more delicious food like this.